You know, which is ridiculous. I never asked for what I got, and I have decided to keep only 20% of the increase. He's the one who has given me that pay increase. Him. So how can he be complaining about the size of it?
Welcome viewers and subscribers to Jadil Entertainment. Thank you for being here. On your viewers, click the subscribe button. Well guys, in this one today guys, we have a lot of details, yeah, giving out to us guys what's going on in Parliament, you get me say? And believe me, a lot of things are going, so you guys are one, stay tuned for your one year. Without no further addition guys, if you're new to my channel, please stick a like on this video and subscribe to my channel, be a part of the family. Thank you.
Watched an assault on democracy take place in our parliament. I ought not to have been surprised, because this government is always in a fight with the Constitution. Indeed, the tendency manifested itself from Andrew Holness, was leader of the opposition, when he sought to utilize pre-signed, undated letters of resignation to remove 2 of his senators. Of course, as you all know, he was the first Prime Minister to consider placing a Chief Justice on probation, thereby revealing that he does not understand how our parliamentary system is established and the critical decision to have the separation of powers embedded in our parliamentary procedure and in our Constitution. And I could go on and on. The leader of the party has already referenced the states of emergency and the way in which it has been abused by the government, who has chosen to use it as a crime-fighting tool. But yesterday, Section 96(1) of the Constitution, this supreme law, this Constitution which when we are sworn into Parliament we all swear to uphold, that was not demonstrated in the Parliament. You see, under Section 96(1), the section which was amended yesterday, when the extension of the tenure of the DPP is being considered, the Governor General, on the recommendation of the Prime Minister, has to consult with the leader of the opposition. And it is after that consultation, which must be done before the DPP reaches the age of 60, after that consultation, the extension is granted. So historically, in 2020, the Director of Public Prosecutions turned 60, and quite appropriately, she applied for an extension. She applied for an extension of 5 years, and after the requisite consultation, an extension of 3 years was granted. Now, yesterday, the Minister of Justice, in a very scant address to the opening remark to the Parliament, explained to the country that this amendment was being brought to the Parliament because of an amendment to the Pensions Act of 2017. He tried to assume responsibility for this amendment, saying that it was intended really that the Ministry of Finance would do it, and seemed to have said that it was because of his diligence why he was bringing it to Parliament himself. But I say this: if you are the Minister of Justice, you have a greater responsibility than any other member of Parliament or member of Cabinet to lead by example in the way that you do matters, the way that you bring these matters to the Parliament. The opposition was not consulted on this matter. The opposition was not notified except a few hours prior to the convening of Parliament. And in this way, the Minister of Justice and the government demonstrated a level of authoritarian arrogance, which we have come to see as a part of their modus operandi and a reflection of how they see their role as against the people of this country. More and more, you hear about mandatory sentencing, mandatory wills, mandatory DNA. And this government is determined to impose itself into every aspect of the life of these people. And that was manifested yesterday when they attempted to change the law to do a constitutional amendment without any consultation at all with the opposition. And let me tell you why it's so significant. The powers of the DPP are vast. The Director of Public Prosecutions can institute and undertake criminal proceedings against any person before any court other than a court-martial in respect of any offense against the law of Jamaica. The DPP can take over and continue any such criminal proceedings that may have been instituted by any other person or authority. And most significantly, the DPP can discontinue at any stage before judgment is delivered any such criminal proceedings instituted or undertaken by himself or any other person or authority. So these are the kinds of powers that a DPP has. And in the context, as the leader said, of events which we imagine are going to unfurl before the country, one has to wonder why the matter has been approached in this manner. You see, the Pensions Amendment Act was in 2017. The first application for an extension was in 2020. There was the opportunity to have implemented the requirements of the Pensions Act. And we could have engaged in a discussion, the opposition and the government, and we could have then dealt with the extension to bring it in line to what was happening with other public officers. That was not done. 2017 to 2023 is 6 years. There has been no discussion about this extension. The Constitutional Reform Committee was established in March 2023 and has been very active, meeting sometimes twice for the week, has been engaging persons, the citizenry, in a discussion on the road, hearing their views as to how the Constitution should be reformed, what sort of constitution they would like to see in Jamaica. This was never put before the Constitutional Committee. So then, it is reasonable for one to ask, what is it that would lead the government to take a decision that at the very last sitting of the Parliament, without any discussion with the opposition, without any consultation, without any discourse, without placing it before the Constitutional Reform Committee, why was it so urgent that it be done now? The Director of Public Prosecutions is expected to demit office on September 20, 2023, which is when the 3 years would come to an end. Is that why? Is this a specific action on the part of the government to ensure that the Director of Public Prosecution remains in place? And if so, what must the country interpret this as being? Because surely there must be competent attorneys in the office. Surely the assurance which was given in 2020 by the government that a succession plan would have been put in place, they must have kept their word. So what is the urgency? Why this matter has been brought to the Parliament at this stage and in this manner? Let me be clear. The opposition would have welcomed an opportunity to have discussed the matter with the government. We believe and we uphold the tenets of good governance. Our desire is to always ensure that the public retain and maintain a comfort and confidence in certain offices, significant and important offices in this country. And we would have liked to have participated in an analysis. Say, for example, we could have advanced the view that these offices should now have fixed terms, that is the way in which the world was moving. We could have said that, yes, there we have no objection, and imagine what the country would have seen if the government and the opposition had gone to the parliament with a united view. You know, Minister Chuck said in an interview on which I was on this morning that if they want to agree, they agree, and who want to disagree, disagree. I am mortified that this is a view that he takes of our democracy. And it makes me wonder if this country is indeed in safe hands, or if the ship is being steered by those who have utter contempt for the people. Because when you dismiss the opposition like that, and you say they agree, they disagree, they disagree, what you're really telling the country is that their views do not count, that it does not matter how they perceive of things, because the government is going to do whatever it wants. And I have to ask those of you who are listening, is this what you want? Is this how you want to see the government function? Is it how you want to see your nation governed?